It's Saturday, December 4th, 2021. A few things to talk about today, and I want to start with this. We were talking to an individual the other day who is a small contractor in the heating and air conditioning business. And after you talk to somebody like this, a small business owner, a contractor, I come to the realization that we're not really seeing the effects of this economy clearly with our own two eyes, because we're not really seeing what's happening behind the scenes. The impact of the shortages, the impact of appliances is having a very, very serious effect on the small business owner, on the private contractor. And talking to this individual, just told us a couple stories. One being that when he needs to pick up an air conditioning unit for a customer, he can't get one right now. And what's happening is when he goes to the distributor, who might have 4 brand new AC units, might have 8, might have 10, might have 20, the distributors are selling them to the bigger contractors. The bigger contractors will go, we'll take everything you have. We'll take all 12 AC units. We'll take all 20 AC units, whatever you have, and they'll just put them away for when they need them. But they have the deeper pockets, whereas the small contractor, the small business owner, he's out of luck. He mentioned that his work truck, Ford truck, he had to call Ford up. He's having a difficult time. They deferred his payments for 6 months. We don't hear about this stuff on the television. We're not hearing about this daily, but this is happening daily. He called Ford up, and they worked out a deferment for 6 months. They said they don't want his truck. With what's happening right now, they would be taking back 200 trucks a day. This is what they told him. So this buys time. This keeps the repo man off his back. But the question is, what happens after 6 months? What if the shortages continue? What if they're worse? What if the inflation is worse? What if the economy is worse 6 months later? What does this guy do? What happens to his truck? What happens to his business? The small guy is really the one that's going to pay an enormous price here with this economy. And it's taking such a toll, and we don't hear about it, we don't see it, but this is what's really, really happening. I drove by about 7 or 8 auto dealers today, just in the area, driving down past them, and we went by about 8 of them, and there was not one person on the lot kicking tires, looking at cars. Every lot, first off, was literally empty. Most of everything they had was used, but there was nobody out there, nobody looking at vehicles. And it was a beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky, 82 degrees, nobody out buying cars. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I just want to share that story because, you know, we're being told that things are good. The consumer's never been stronger. Businesses are opening up every day. Everything's fine, when it really isn't. I don't think we really understand what is really happening to so many business owners, especially the small ones. I mean, think about that. On the verge of losing their vehicle. You lose that vehicle, you're done. You're out of business. And if you do have a business, if your clients call you, you can't service your accounts because you don't have the parts. You don't have the air conditioning units. I mean, it's a total disaster. And what if this was July right now and it was 118 degrees out here and everybody needed a new air conditioning unit, needed unit service, and there's no parts? And that'll be another problem as we head into 2022 in hot regions of the country like this. This would be detrimental to an area like Riverside County or Palm Springs when units begin to break and need to be replaced and the parts and the units are not there. People are going to be in big trouble because you're not going to last very long out here when it's 118 or 125 degrees. So I wanted to share that with you. I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and some of these cryptos and what's been happening. And let me be clear, if you're into day trading and speculation, you know, this may be a great time to buy the dip. But what I want to talk about is a safe haven asset, not speculation, not flipping, not a Ponzi scheme. Let's talk about a safe haven asset. Is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies a safe haven asset? I don't think so. And I could be completely wrong. Don't listen to me. I'm just thinking out loud today. But I'll tell you this. I have more faith in gold and silver, especially gold right now, as we've watched massive volatility in these markets, yet gold has stayed pretty steady. And it seems more and more like the cryptos are trading along with the market. Market goes down, crypto goes down. Market goes up, crypto goes up. Gold just seems to be steady, even though we know gold and silver are severely manipulated as they print massive amounts of paper to slam the price of gold and silver down. But remember, there's a difference between holding physical gold and silver and paper gold and silver. And the more this whole thing unravels, the more I believe that we all should be holding some physical gold, physical silver, especially gold. Take a look at countries that are stockpiling gold, central banks stockpiling gold, and we look at what is happening right now in the crypto market, and it has to make you wonder. It has to make you ask some questions. Is cryptocurrency a safe haven asset? What happens? What's going to happen to the cryptos when we really begin to see trouble? This is the question I have to ask everybody. And look, again, if you are into speculation and gambling and day trading, and you think that the prices are going to go up, and you have some money to gamble, by all means, best of luck. I wish you the best of luck. I understand that. But we understand that people are running into cryptos and Bitcoin, not because they believe it's a safe haven. They just buy it hoping that it's going to go higher so that they can make more money from today to next week. It's about just making money as fast as you can. Get rich quick, my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't think people are really buying into it as a safe haven, that when the lights go out, when the stock market crashes, when the dollar crashes, that this is going to be the safe haven asset. No, people are buying it because they're anticipating, hoping, and praying that it's going to keep going up. And if they keep promoting it and telling all their friends and their family members, and they can keep getting athletes and celebrities keep telling everybody to buy it, it's going to keep going up, and they'll make money. But again, what happens when real trouble gets here? We haven't seen real trouble yet, ladies and gentlemen, but what's going to happen when these markets crash? Can you really, really depend on the cryptos? Are they really going to protect you? Early Saturday morning, the price of Bitcoin dropped to $43,000. All-time high, I believe, was around $69,000. Price of Ether fell as well, down to $3,500. Bitcoin was around $57,000 on Friday. Right now, it's around $48,000 as I make this video. I mean, that is really crazy volatility. Really, really crazy volatility. And you know, if somebody like Elon Musk came out today and said he was selling 20% of his Bitcoin, what would happen? The crypto markets would absolutely crash. The hedge today, leveraged Bitcoin traders flushed out an epic overnight crash. 410,000 crypto accounts were liquidated in the past 24 hours, totaling $2.6 billion, with the largest liquidation being $27 million. The plunge is another sign of risk aversion sweeping across global markets. Today's global cryptocurrency market cap is $2.28 trillion, down 17.5% in just the last 24 hours. This doesn't give me a lot of faith that this is a safe haven asset, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that whenever there is trouble, the cryptos get in more trouble. When everything is smooth sailing, it's great, they're going up, but I, right now, am looking to protect my wealth. I'm looking for a liquidity crisis taking place. I'm looking at a housing bubble ready to burst. I'm looking at the stock market bubble bursting, bond market bursting, and who knows what's about ready to happen to the US dollar. But all I see is uncertainty, and I myself have got to be in something that's going to protect wealth and give me versatility, something with history, something that the minute things get bad, people aren't dumping. And get rich quick schemes like this, I think, begin to show their true worth when trouble arises. And again, if you're trying to make quick money, you want to speculate, you got some money to gamble, maybe you buy the dip right now. I don't give financial advice. I can't tell you what to do, but I don't think this is what I want to be holding my wealth in, because the volatility already is telling us as soon as there's trouble, you're going to see even bigger trouble in these crypto markets. Docusign shares plunged 42%, and the company after the company gave weak guidance. This is on CNBC today. Again, more crazy volatility, more massive swings. And in this article, and I know people that have been in Docusign who made a lot of money, but wow, a 42% hit. That is a crushing blows. Shares didn't collapse because it had 4 years of annual losses as a public company on top of the years of losses before it went public. Its shares didn't collapse because they were trading at 23 times revenue. Think about this is common now. What we're seeing in these markets, these companies like DocuSign trading 23 times above revenue. Ask yourself, I mean, we are in the twilight zone here, ladies and gentlemen, and people who think that they're going to be protected by stocks and Ponzi schemes, give me a break. Its shares didn't collapse because they bedazzled investors with fake profits, generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP. They collapsed because the third quarter's earnings were slammed. They used fake data, and they were pumping stocks until it just didn't work any longer. And we're gonna see more of this. We have so many zombie companies in these markets, and we have so many companies pumping fake data, buying back their own corporate stocks, pumping up the price of stocks. And again, we have people on the television telling everybody to buy in. You can't lose. The markets are going to go up forever, just like the housing market will go up forever. And people buy into this. And so many people are going to get wrecked as we begin to see things turn. And when things turn, right now, they're turning slowly, but we are going to see an acceleration. And people are going to run for the exits, whether they're in cryptos, whether they're in stocks, whether they're in real estate. And there's just not going to be enough doors to exit. And it is going to be a very, very ugly event. Buy now, pay later boom shows no signs of slowing this holiday season. Also on CNBC, you know, if you can't afford to buy something today, you probably shouldn't buy it. 7% of shoppers will be using buy now, pay later services this holiday, on top of credit cards, on top of personal loans. And there was another article today, also on CNBC, 4 personal loan lenders to consider if you need to borrow as little as $1,000. And you and I all know that once people run through the credit cards, they're going to go get a personal loan so they can continue buying Christmas gifts. So again, people are going to use the credit cards, they're going to use the buy now, pay later services, and then they're going to go to personal loans, and they're going to continue to rack up debt at the worst possible time. So, you know, I watch this stuff, and it just absolutely blows me away, the irresponsibility of some people buying things with money they don't even have, believing that maybe they don't have to pay this money back. You know, people write me all the time, JB, should I use my credit card to buy gold and silver? No, you should not use debt to buy gold and silver. What you should do is pay down your debt, get it paid off, and then go buy yourself some gold and silver. That's what you should do. Never use debt to buy gold and silver. I guess people just believe that, you know, they'll never have to pay the credit cards back. I just can't understand some of the processes that people use in their minds. You know, should I use a credit card to go Christmas shopping because I don't have any money? If you don't have any money, you need to go get some money. You need to pay off your debts. You need to save some money. Right now, there's no excuse of why you can't have a side hustle. There's so many jobs out there. And I'm not saying these are career opportunities or lifetime jobs, but anybody can go out there now and go get a job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, get their debts paid off, go buy some gold, go buy some silver, put a cash reserve away. There's no excuses. But people, I think, would rather not work. Many people would just rather sit at home and just run up the credit cards to buy things and act like they're never going to have to pay it back. It's bad, bad, bad thinking. Because what's going to happen is you're going to lose a job. You're going to be on the hook to pay that credit card back. And when you don't, your credit's going to be destroyed. Then you're not going to be able to go rent an apartment or buy a house or buy a car. You may not get hired at your next job because you have bad credit. So to me, it's never a good thing to be in debt to buy something. It's not good to be in debt to go buy an asset. The best thing to do is get out of debt and then go buy an asset that's paid for. Again, when we go back to the 2008 crash, gold and silver went down. And I don't think they came back to, what, about 2010, about 2 years after the crash. They did very, very well. But in the meantime, you want to be paying on your credit card for gold and silver? I mean, and look, there's no guarantees of things going up, going down. Do not take on debt, especially right now, ladies and gentlemen, for anything. This is a terrible time, in my opinion, to buy a car, to buy a house, to be gambling in these markets. There's so much uncertainty. Right now, my strategy is sit back, let it play out, continue to keep your powder dry, stack cash. If you have the means and the ability, get some gold, get some silver, and make sure you have all your bases covered with preparations because there is just way too much uncertainty. As we just watched what happened last week in these markets, what's happening to cryptos. And look, I know Monday, cryptos could be up $5,000. I get it. Bitcoin could be up 5,000. But it's already shown me enough that as soon as there's a hiccup, as soon as there's a little fear, it gets crushed. Crushed. I don't think this is what I don't think this is really the type of asset I want to be holding, knowing what's coming. Maybe you do. I could be completely wrong, but you have to do what you believe is right. I just believe get out of the system, get as diversified as you can. If you want to hold some cryptos, great, but make sure it's money that you're using that you can afford to lose. Just like if you're buying mining stocks, that's money that I can afford to lose because there's huge amounts of volatility there. But we know physical gold and physical silver have never been worth zero. And that's why I don't mind acquiring as much as I can because I know it'll never be worth zero. So I think for me, be diversified. It's about holding zero debt or the least amount of debt possible, holding cash, holding gold, holding silver, maybe holding a little bit of crypto, holding a little bit of mining stocks, and of course having all bases covered when it comes to food and water and gear and things of that nature. So I'm going to leave it there. We'll see how the cryptos transpire over the weekend, but as I make this video, they are still down and down bad, and we'll see if they bounce back later tonight or tomorrow or Monday. But how many people pulled a lot of money out of their homes to buy Bitcoin at 50,000, 60,000, 65,000, 69,000? People are really gambling. They're really gambling. And I think this is probably the worst time to be gambling, ladies and gentlemen. I'll leave it there. Have a wonderful, incredible weekend. And say your prayers, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know about you, something's very wrong. God bless.